Why do you think being in narcotics translates to being a good homicide detective?
Because in narcotics, everybody's lying. The suspect's lying, the witnesses are lying, the lawyers are lying. Everybody, if you can find that kernel of truth in that bucket of lies, you'd be a good homicide detective, because that's what it's all about. So I don't discount being a gang detective. It doesn't make you a good detective, homicide detective. But narcotics is a whole different operation. And if you're involved in major cases, as I was, wiretaps, bugs, surveillance, all of these are skill sets. You know, cops sell themselves short. When you're in the police department, just going through the academy is a skill set. Firearms training, physical defense, right? These are skill sets that the average person doesn't have. Now, as you go through the police department, okay, in different divisions, you're picking up skills. You're picking up skills of surveillance. You're picking up skills of operating under certain conditions. And you take, now also, as you develop these skills, what did you do before you came on the police department? Were you a telephone person? Were you a truck driver? Were you a cab driver, right? These are other pieces that come into place. I was a UPS driver, okay? I drove for UPS. What was happening was my entire younger life, I had everything I was involved in as a kid. Altar boy, Boy Scouts, Bugle Boy, VFW, right? Had a uniform. I always had a uniform. I guess I was destined to go into uniform. As I get older, now I become a lifeguard, another skill set. And I'm driving an ambulance, another skill set. I'm a security guard, another skill set. And all of these things come into play later on. Obviously, life saving is going to come into big time. But what about when you're doing undercover work? I look like a real UPS driver, because I was. So these are skills you pick up. Now, as you get more involved in different major cases, the dynamics involved are amazing, because no case is the same. There's always a twist or a turn. Being able to tactically respond to that. In other words, don't be anal. Like I worked for this lieutenant in narcotics. I swear to God, this guy was the most anal personality I ever met. He reminded me of Major Malcolm Powers from Heartbreak Ridge, and I'm Gunnery Sergeant Tommy Highway, all right? Try and deal with this fucking idiot. He's going to get my undercovers killed with his bullshit, his practical plan. Everything he did turned to shit. He lost $2,400 in buy money because of his plan. He could not deviate. You can't operate like that in the street. And I always protected my men. My men came first, because when I became a boss, I said, I'm going to be the kind of boss that I wanted to work for when I was a cop. And that's what it's all about.
Was your goal, when you started NYPD, was your goal always to be a homicide detective?
No, my goal was to become a detective, get a gold shield. That's a big deal, the gold shield.
Yeah.
And I came in as a tactical patrol force. That is one of the greatest outfits they ever created. They'll never have it again, because it was pure.
What did you do? As a tactical patrol force, what did you do?
Okay, we were crime fighters 24/7. We didn't do 80 cases, we didn't do traffic control, we didn't work in precincts. We operated outside of the precincts. Now, back when I became a tactical patrol force, corruption was systemic in major police departments, especially the NYPD. We were the uncorruptibles. We were the Green Berets of the police department. And becoming a tactical patrol force cop, I was not 6 foot tall, but I had 3 years of college, and I aced the police academy. I was number 3 in the police academy, so I got the assignment I requested. I was so proud when I came down with those 3 letters on my collar, TPF, all right? The first thing that happened when we graduated in the police academy, we went for more training. Building rappelling, sniper rifles, crowd control. So we were constantly in training. When we weren't in training, we were in the inner cities, in the ghettos. Harlem, South Bronx, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Jamaica. All the areas that were high crime areas, from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. And we enforced the law, and not Mickey Mouse, heavy-duty felonies. And the bottom line was, if you performed and did well, you would get into Detective Bureau. Well, I must have did well. I had hundreds of arrests. I had medals, commendations. In 3 years, I came into the Detective Bureau as a white shield detective. A white shield means you have your regular badge. It'll be a year before I get the gold shield, but I'm in the Bureau. What a big step that was.